Bruh, let's go.
Back at
It
it.
is this.
Hey,
It is
here we
this
go.
turn.
Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Three Little Blurs Talk Show. I am your boy, Be Nice or Else. We got the homie ceexdawg with us and the homie Outlaw. Want to send a quick shout out to the homie Outlaw for hosting the pre-show. We tried and attempted some Apex. He had a book bag that had all of us in it. I felt like I was too heavy, so I jumped out of it. Um, so he was definitely on carry mode. I slid over to Destiny, ran some strikes really quick. But yeah, we got a few things for you guys today. We are super.
You
Yeah,
did
man,
what
I
you needed to
appreciate
do.
Kenny. Hey, look, I appreciate Kenny with the good vibes and good energy, bro. If there's one thing about like my gaming, I get extremely frustrated when I feel like I'm holding somebody up from doing something. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and remove myself.
You wasn't holding me up. It was the randoms. If we would have had a third, we would have been cool for real.
Facts. And you know what was crazy? Before I got on, Kenny got a dub with the randoms.
That's because I play by myself when I'm with randoms. Like I don't play thinking about other people. That's how they think. That's how they think, bro. That's just how it is.
Yeah. I want to take a quick minute to shout out everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for rocking with us. We had a few things that we want to cover today. We're going to start out first with the title of the episode, and it is called Attack on Titan. And the reason for that is debuting for the last time ever, Season 4, final season of Attack on Titan. This has been a very kind of, I guess, controversial anime.
Watch Attack on Titan Part 2 premiere.
Right. It's gonna have to be. You know they're not gonna do it all in one run.
Yeah, they not.
Facts.
It's a lot going on in Attack on Titan.
It's a lot. It's
for those not caught up in the manga. They ain't got
either
enough
that or it's going to be
a
I was about either that or it's going to be a super long one season left. Then, but yeah, man, Attack on Titan debuts today. If anybody in the chat has caught episode 1, let us know. But guys, what are your thoughts on Attack on Titan as it's cresting towards the end of its anime career?
You want me to be honest?
Yep, keep it a band.
I stopped watching that shit in manga.
Oh, you stopped watching it?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it funky. It's cool though, but I legit stopped watching it. I ain't gonna hold you up. So I might catch this final season, but I'm only waiting for a few key points, and I'm not gonna mention what they are. But yeah, that's all I'm honestly waiting for. But other than that.
Shout out to Kenny for
it's cool.
Oh, okay. I need to break this right now. Right here on Three Little Blurs, we're about to have an exclusive, just officially announced on Bleacher Report. Floyd Mayweather Jr. announces he will face Logan Paul in a special exhibition on February 20th, 2021. What in the ducks?
Could have held on to
that. Is going on, bro?
They already said that though. Because he was supposed to be the fight that Nate was supposed. He was supposed to be in Nate's spot, but he said he wasn't gonna do it, and Nate took it.
Wow. Listen, yo, hold up.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the manga to end. They take it forever.
Out of all the people Floyd want to give money, bro, he's a scrub. I know he's a money grab, but like, bro, why is Floyd even doing that? There's so many other like legit either black boxers or Hispanic boxers
because the money is gonna be popping.
I know, man.
Boxing is not about like the competition. It's about the spectacle, like that. Like you see what happened with Tyson and Roy Jones. It wasn't about the fight. It was about getting them two back in the ring.
It's the show.
Time's sake. Like it's the show.
It's the show.
The promotion. The
promotion capability with those two fighters. Like first of all, Logan Paul is like he's not like the hypest dude ever, but he has that following where like all right, he about to fight, but then you got Floyd Mayweather. He fighting Floyd Mayweather. people know how it's gonna go. People not really expecting nothing extravagant, but it's like shit. We can watch Floyd Mayweather. Like it's just how it is, man. It's money.
I'm saying Floyd right now. As soon as that fight was over,
I don't see how many people gonna actually watch that. Cause
they gonna pay for it, bro.
I'm sure somebody gonna pay for it. Somebody most definitely gonna watch it, but it ain't worth my time. I'm gonna be honest.
I didn't even know he was fighting Nate Robinson until after the fight happened. So it's cool. Like I said, it's all about the promotion, the spectacle. Like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whichever one. He gonna continue to get fights for years because just off of the hype that can be generated.
Yep.
Sad, bro. But hey, man, more power to him. He's using his platform to put himself in positions he ain't got no business. So by all means, buddy, live. Since we talking about
Floyd Mayweather doing a match every time, right? So that's a win in my book. He can get knocked out. I don't even care. He gonna get paid. And the crazy thing about it is he gonna get paid for it, bro. He gonna get paid for it. Probably the biggest check he probably gonna take home ever, which is nuts, man. Exhibition fighter. There's fighters out here who've been grinding for years on years. But since we talking about fighting, hey man, first installment of Fight Club this past Friday, man, was phenomenal. The energy was through the roof, and we wanted to make sure we started this thing out the right way. So we got it started with a Mortal Kombat tournament. We had 13 entries. Shout out to the homie Outlaw for being a phenomenal host. Bro. Man, I got everybody on par. He kept the brackets. He kept the brackets lined up, man. Hey, you did your thing, man. It is not easy. Appreciate it. Like controlling that many people, man. Also want to shout out Negative KDR for collabing with us officially on all of our fight events. Specifically, our head of social media marketing, Marquise Burns, Mr. Keith the Gamer. So shout out to him as well in the chat, bro. He getting all the marketing and everything ready. It was a complete community collaboration, and we're looking forward to collabing with more people in our community as well. Yeah, definitely give the homie a shout out. Bro, the Paul brothers are going to be rich, Blue, man, and they're going to be rich because they know how.
Is what he's saying. They already got money.
They already have.
They already got money.
They have money before even doing this, so that's why I'm saying, like, just them being able to get those connections and everything. They're just getting up. They in their bag. We being 100. They in the bag right now.
Right. Completely using their influence to do nothing but get money out here.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all boys. I don't like them at all. Like, I can't stand what they're about. If you kept up with them the years of YouTube before he started boxing, that's how the KSI and
that's how
that fight happened, because they was beefing on YouTube. But they got like a whole bunch of they was doing like these campaigns to get a whole bunch of YouTube subscribers, but it's all hype, it's all spectacle, and to be honest, they just like, I don't know, like I don't rock with them. If we be honest, like I do not like them at all. Straight up.
I never even watched anything from them, so I couldn't tell you if I like them or not.
It's like a whole, I could go down a laundry list of just drama from the years, like all the things that was happening with like the ads getting pulled from, like advertisers was pulling ads from YouTube because of shit that they was doing. I don't even want to go that deep into it, but I don't like them. I just don't like them at all. Like, no matter what they do from this point on, I'm just gonna be like, whatever.
Amen.
Yeah, I have no quorum. I just don't. They never piqued my interest. I don't fucking know.
We can have a whole show on just like the years past, but I ain't even about to put that much energy into it.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't even know about that, son.
Yeah,
I already know.
Go ahead and let them ride.
They don't match.
Yeah, they cool doing their thing, but I ain't rocking with them boys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't making me no never mind. It ain't making me no money.
That's facts. But with the Mortal Kombat tournament this past Friday, Yeah, we did have 13 entries. Winning the Mortal Kombat tournament was pretty much our top fighter in our community, Parasol Love X. He did take first place in the tournament, so shout out to Pear. He has no social media, so you can't follow him. But if you do want to keep up with his mystique, you can check out clips from the final match on our YouTube channel. Taking second place was G.3, another one of the homies from the 3littleblerds gaming community. And getting third is your boy, Be Nice Reps. And then fourth, we had Tevi Tev. So it was a pretty good mixed bag. Kenny did go out in the first round, but Kenny, you played pair in the first round?
Nah, L played pair in the first round.
Yeah,
I think I played G. I played G.
Oh yeah, you played G. Yeah, my side of the bracket was super tough. I played that Jacoby dude. Then G played Kenny, and then I played that guy that we're not gonna give no energy. C.
The person we was missing was C.
Bruh.
The bracket would have been full.
I knew that joint was gonna end up like that, like the way that it did. I might have been able to try to push G or Paris to the edge, but man. That man Paris is a pure blood savage. I was watching the clips. I was watching, I think he was fighting somebody with Scarlet, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I was chilling on the couch just watching y'all on Twitch, because I was like, nah, I ain't about to be getting my feelings hurt tonight.
Combo was so smooth, bro. You know, I used to use Scarlet, and I swear I couldn't get combos like that. He had so many smooth combos.
Blender. Like, I was like, no, sir. I ain't even want no parts of that, but I'm glad Paris won. That dude is a savage. I honestly would put money on him in any fighting game against anybody, like, because he on it like that. Like, he understand.
I feel like he only play fighting games.
He understand the meta like no other. Don't matter what character.
Whatever. I beat him in the prelims. Whatever. I beat him in the prelims.
Hey, we all done got a win on Paris, but can you say that he was trying his absolute best? Like,
nah, bro.
Sweaty Paris.
We witnessed.
Bro, this how you know Paris was cold, bro. He did we had one match. That was his match versus I think Unit K7, which was cross-platform. We couldn't watch. When I tell you that match was over in 20 seconds, bro,
you didn't get back in the
Unit was in my ear the whole time, like, bro, I didn't know he was. I don't know. He was like, it's a rush. I gotta get a rematch. I like stuff like this. I'm like, bro, that shit was over in 20 seconds. I bullshit you not, bro. Look,
he'll put you in the blender.
I was like, we gonna have some little pregame. We gonna have some matches while we waiting for Pair, and Unit to finish their match. We didn't even start a match. We at the beginning of our match. And all I hear is Unit say, "Well, it's over." I said, "Wait, what?" What happened? He was like, "Oh, I got my ass." He said, "I got my ass." Like, hey, Pear. I don't know how that fight went, but I know Pear hit him with that combo, that old faithful, and it was over from there. I honestly thought Tail would have gave him like a run for his money because his coda was kind of solid.
And his pussy game is unmatched. Like,
huh?
I beat Tevi Tev.
You beat him in the loser bracket. He fought Pear.
It don't matter. I still beat him.
His pussy game is unmatched. Like, you not going to step in the box on Paris. Like, if you step into the box, you better be ready to throw out your best combo.
King of defense.
And if you throw it out and you hit that block, he gonna make sure you get punished.
You gonna pay for it. Everything.
You can't even.
He's great on the punish.
Yeah, you can't even joke with that man in the box. Like, you better off just spamming projectile across the screen to get your little bit of points.
Pretty much.
Bruh,
you better get that chip damage.
Joke,
But even then, if he got the right character, he'll chip you just like you do with him, and then come in with the combo.
Right. Yeah. So shout out to
nothing easy.
We will be playing more fighting games and more tournaments. As we are doing things for the community and more people, we understand that people are going to have different opinions. If you are ever in a 3littleblerds event and you have some feedback, feel free to reach out to any member of the Three Little Blurs admin, myself, C, or Kenny, and we can follow up with you. But what you won't do is publicly try to shame people in public areas like general chats and social media. So there's that. But the next thing that we're going to jump into is going to be the Game Awards. So this Thursday, we have the 2020 Game Awards, and Three Little Blurs will be hosting a viewing party in our Discord. All right, and this is going to start at 7 p.m. and go to 10 p.m. And we'll be open for some, community or some fun games afterwards if anybody's interested. But we will be showing the Gaming Awards and talking about the Gaming Awards as we're going through. Please RSVP if you guys are coming. So if you know you're gonna come, please let one of the three of us know. You can tweet us or you can DM us. We would love to have everybody or as many people who would like to make it. The more the merrier. But we only have a limited amount of space, so please keep us updated on that. See, Kenny, I know we've already talked about Game Awards, but you guys thinking about, all right, Khaleesi is RSVP. We appreciate you, Queen. Thank you for coming to the talk show. Hey, that is how we already got one RSVP. Appreciate the Queen for reserving her spot.
Yeah, that's just so we know how many people want to actually come, like, talk in Discord. That way, it's just not a mob of people out here shouting their favorite game.
Right.
But it's open to everybody.
It's open to everybody, especially the community. You know what I'm saying? So, anybody from 2A Academy, anybody from Negative KDR, and obviously anybody in Three Little Blurs, feel free to join us. Just let us know. But seeing Kenny, is there?
I'm trying to send money. I'm sorry.
You good? Is there anything? We talked about it earlier. Some of the episodes. Was there any one specific thing you're looking forward to, or maybe a premiere you think that may come from that? I know they've already been talking about what Nintendo would premiere. A lot of people have been asking those questions, but and this is actually going to be my first Game Awards live too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, so it's a good time, man. Yeah, Game Awards, like, if Blue's still in the chat, like, he would tell you, like, we be live. Like, we be in somebody group chat Discord talking about every award, every reveal. It's been as hype as E3 these last couple years, if you ask me. It's been equally as hype because the Keanu Reeves, that was at the Game Awards last year, right? The You're Breathtaking, that wasn't that?
Yeah.
Was that E3 or Game Awards? I think it was Game Awards. So they're gonna have to do a Cyberpunk.
They announced he had popped out to announce the Cyberpunk stuff.
They're gonna have to do a Cyberpunk something because the game comes out that day. So we're gonna have Cyberpunk in hand to be able to talk about that. We definitely gonna talk about it on the side. But they're gonna have some reveals, like you mentioned. Nintendo probably gonna hit us with some heat. I hope they hit us with some heat. Like,
man, I just want to see Breath of the Wild 2,
Metroid, something.
And I'll be happy.
Anything Metroid related, Breath of the Wild 2 related, they got me. Like, it don't matter what else they show.
Zelda my favorite series, so I don't even need to see the rest of the Game Awards if I see Zelda.
Because last year they showed us the Xbox Series X. We saw it for the first time at the Game Awards last year. So
I'm
hoping that Microsoft got something. Something to show us, some announcement. Hopefully Phil Spencer come out. I know they've been announcing like a lot of the special guests, like the celebrity presenters. So I saw they got Brie Larson coming out. They got I think John David Washington, Denzel's son. Stephen A. Smith gonna be there. A couple more folks. But I know one thing I saw was people speculating.
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, what's that about? Like, is he gonna be featured in something? You know how they normally do it.
It's gonna be for 2K.
if it is, it might be. That's one of the games I can see.
That's trash. That would be
being a part of. They have Stephen A.
2K or Madden.
Yeah, Stephen A. the new announcer for Madden or something. Madden need a W.
I did see him on Instagram talking about the Game Awards, and I'm usually not in my state of mind. So I didn't know if it was real or not.
I saw some people saying they think Brie Larson is gonna be the face actor for Samus on Metroid Prime 4. I don't know. It was speculation. So it could happen. I don't know.
It's a possibility. You never know.
Either she gonna be there for Captain Marvel.
It's
or something.
possible.
Cause you know she a big gamer. She a fairly big gamer. If you've been keeping up with her at all this year, she started a YouTube channel. She be doing a bunch of different things. She play Animal Crossing, so she pretty cool.
Surprise me.
Yeah, I hope they got her to do something for Nintendo. And you know Reggie Fils-Aimé gonna be there.
Why she gonna be there for the reveal of Captain Marvel and the Avengers game and stuff?
Now, just real quick, like we was talking about that Avengers game last night. There goes Psychotic in the chat right now. That Avengers game.
Perfect timing.
That Avengers game has an uphill battle. Like it has an uphill battle. Even with Spider-Man, even with any new hero, it has an uphill battle right now.
I was just
Black Panther should have been there.
I found out Spider-Man wasn't in the game yet.
Right.
I mean, Brie Larson, she's not a bad person to me. I know a lot of people hate.
Nobody likes Brie Larson. What do you mean?
A lot of Twitter folks. Not even gonna say a lot of people on Twitter hated what she had to say about who is the target audience for Captain Marvel. So that started a whole thing that I don't even want to go that in depth with. But people don't like her simply because she had some choice opinions about the audience of Captain Marvel. I like her. I think she a cool person. Cool to me. She seemed super cool. She was on Scott Pilgrim. You remember she was the ex-girlfriend on Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the best movies ever.
Yes, sir.
Like,
man,
Brie Larson,
I'm ready for them to release this game because I'm ready to spend the money again. But I don't want to spend the money again because they really should just give me my license.
Did they put a date on it? Wasn't it supposed to come out this month? Wasn't it supposed to come out holiday?
I thought it was supposed to. It was supposed to come out holiday 2020 last I seen, but I haven't heard anything else about it. All I know is I bought the game on 360, and they should give me my license purchase license back, so I can get my damn.
Not gonna happen.
I know it's not gonna happen. Can I add some goddamn fake?
They said the complete edition or something. You know they gonna have to change the name just a
complete edition. It was already complete.
Right.
But I swear they better not add no beat.
They should just re-added it, but they trying to get that money. They got to get that money. Was it the 10-year anniversary, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But I know they on trash because I bought that game for $20.
Maybe Brie Larson will announce the shadow drop of Scott Pilgrim.
Maybe Scott Pilgrim. You never know.
Yeah, bro. That would be fire.
Maybe she would. Because you know they normally do shadow drop a few things. Like
they shadow drop a lot.
Cause they will shadow drop.
They'll hit you with the you can download
available
it right now.
Like what? You know it's gonna be hype though. We're gonna be hype.
I ain't gonna hold you. If they say that, I'm cutting off the game and I'm getting right on to Scott Pilgrim. Cause you know how many years I've been waiting to play this game again. My 360 got stolen in 2015. I've been waiting to play Scott Pilgrim since then.
Jeez.
I already got to count. I already got to count my loss on Marvel vs. Capcom too, so that's just stuck on my hard drive. And whoever they sold it to had fun.
They're gonna give us that game back at some point. They can't afford not to.
We'll be here waiting.
This is the crazy thing. This was recent, actually. Recent. I looked in my achievements. You know how you can see your achievements for your games. And then it was a 360 game. It was Guitar Hero. So whoever got my goddamn Xbox, y'all stop unlocking achievements on my goddamn Guitar Hero.
Ran off with the plug on that.
Oh, this is good. But Psychotic said we got a release date for Persona Scramble in the US though. Can't wait. I have not played Persona at all.
Hey, Psychotic, you know what? You probably excited for it, but I feel like you go half play it, and then you gonna be like, I don't like this game.
Same person talking about they ain't finished Miles Morales, a 12-hour game at max. I'm joking with you though, bro. Yeah, that Persona been doing a lot of
Persona about to be lit.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of US, because you know, like it's been a pretty interesting generation because we got a lot of games that would only release in Japan on the Switch and PS4. We got a lot of like crossover games as far as like the East and the West.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's super good. It's super good.
That's a good highlight of the year, I'll say. We got a lot of games I didn't expect to see. And then they were just like, yeah, we're going to release it such and such, or we releasing this version of it. And everything pretty much has been top notch that I've been played so far. I didn't play Marvel stuff, but I heard the game was good, just not good. So I'll take that as you will.
All right. So the
anthem yeah, y'all definitely catch us back here on Thursday, man. That's gonna be a night. That's just gonna be a night. I might be up till
I might get a bottle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know.
If you missed the announcement, bro, we are going to be doing a live streaming party in our Discord on Thursday night for the Game Awards. If you would like to come, just let us know by RSVP. BYOB. We're gonna put that on the flyer too.
BYOB.
BYOB, and Kalichi has already reserved a spot. So if you would like to reserve a spot in the Discord, just let us know, Brody. All right, so we are getting ready to jump into our main topic. The future game.
Yeah, future game in trouble. Remaster, not.
I hope the remaster wouldn't be in trouble, but
BioWare. You got the game made. What you gotta do?
You know what I'm saying? BioWare just. It's been a struggle, but
they don't need
we'll see when it comes.
The head for that, they can do that.
Yeah.
As long as the studio's still around, they can update the damn game.
That's true. But hey, man, if you got a bottle,
bring it.
If you need some greenery, bring it. If you need snacks, bring it. Thursday, 7 to 10 p.m. EST, we're going to be in the Discord. Remember, if you need to reserve a spot, let us know by simply sending us an RSVP, either in the chat, either on Twitter, or in the Discord.
Exactly. If you mess up a remaster, you should just shut the whole studio down. Don't even make another game. Just chalk it up.
That's true. 2K messed up. Mafia 3 remastered. 2K messed up a lot of things.
But 2K messes up everything, bro. You acting like 2K is.
Take
2K
is the culprit.
Yeah.
Take-Two is the culprit. When it comes to Rockstar and 2K, they worried about stakeholders.
We're not even about to talk about Rockstar, bro.
Yeah.
Let's leave that one. Let's leave that one in the whole other bag. Because I'm heated right now. Y'all don't even understand, bro. We got
a tangent waiting to happen.
Actually, let's step into this round while we here. Let's just do it. We never do it, so why not? So, Rockstar has steadily released Grand Theft Auto 5 on 360, this gen, and next gen.
And it's gonna be on PS5.
Got some fire updates. Got a new heist. They got everything, bro. Red Dead. I got a motherfucking peanut gallery of bullshit. They gave
beautiful world,
exotic animals
systems
that I didn't ask for.
GTA 5, new Skyrim facts, bro. They gonna milk it.
I don't care about rare animals, exotic furs. I don't care. They had the audacity to update the game again, and all we got was 5 bounties, bro. 5 legendary bounties. We already had 2. Like, come on, bro. Like, I ain't getting a homestead. I ain't even get Red Dead Nightmare. If I would have got Red Dead Nightmare, I wouldn't have cared about nothing else in the game. Just give me my zombies, B. Like,
we talking about it a lot, this gen. But when games come out and they focus on how can we monetize this game after people buy it, that's when games fail. That's why Avengers failed. That's why Red Dead is failing. That's why Anthem failed. when they focus on
they got a new Skyrim out. I ain't gonna hold you.
When they focus on that, that's when it's starting to get messed up.
They just gonna have to give me a free upgrade or something because it's sitting in my rate to install. But I'm not buying it again. I done bought that shit 4 times already. First off, I had to buy it because my 360 got stolen.
I think we'll be good.
Start reliving these bad memories.
Hey,
yeah,
we bringing up stuff that I played on my old game, bro.
We'll be good without, whenever Rockstar figure out what they want to do.
Fuck Rockstar. I'm not buying GTA 6. I'm not buying GTA 5 again. I'm not playing Red Dead again. Unless they come out with Manhunt or Bully or some shit, they can kick rocks.
They could have slam dunked.
That was worried to my mom's, B.
They could have slam dunked a Bully remaster or Bully 2. They could have slam dunked that. That would have been such an easy W.
They could have did anything.
But people are so sensitive, and I that's why I think Bully didn't happen because of the nature of society now, where everybody's so sensitive. Like people want to sue, because didn't like Lindsay Lohan try to sue because of one of the side characters on GTA 5 saying it was supposed to be her?
It was the character, on the little loading screen. You know how they had like little feedback?
Yeah, like people would be saying that this is based on me and stuff like that. So I know that's killed their creative spirit probably.
But nobody was bothering you.
Nobody was even thinking about her when GTA 5 came out.
Like what, bro? Like.
But it is what it is, man.
Man, all I know is as of right now, Rockstar is on my list of shit I don't fuck with.
I mean,
i.e. Friday the 13th.
And you know they shut down the dedicated servers for that game?
Yeah.
I just learned about it. I just learned that they did that.
Shut it down when they closed the studio. I didn't even know there was. I thought you could only do private matches, but people was legit still in matches. Like,
yeah, it's back. It's back to that peer-to-peer connection. So if the host leaves the match, it's over.
Sheesh.
Dead
in the living room.
That's why I played Dead by Daylight. You can actually, soon as that first week was over, I was like, I'm not playing this game. I'm about to get Dead by Daylight. And I was the only person playing Dead by Daylight. Everybody in their little Friday 13th lobbies. Nah, man, fuck that game, bro. That shit trash. The lobbies was trash.
The game is officially dead now. Like it
was buggy. It was buggy as all hell.
Oh god, yes.
Anytime I can't get in the game for a whole week and I'm stuck on the start menu, you're dead to me. You're dead. You might as well shut everything the fuck down.
One thing that we were talking about though in my stream the other day, I know Queen G was in there because she is a big like Dead by Daylight Friday the 13th person. She was saying like, how they it was buggy and everything when it first came out, and then it kind of they made it better, but then I don't know, like we was talking about how the game had so much problems, but then to think that it started from a Kickstarter campaign, I was just talking about that. It's crazy that it went from like
it came just a long way.
Yeah, just an idea to an actual game in fruition, but it had a lot of obstacles to overcome. But yeah, I mean, hopefully,
and I'm really surprised like a studio didn't pick it up like to support it.
Because
it was a good game. I'm not even gonna hate on it. It was a good game. I ain't got no qualms against the game, but I couldn't play the first week.
It should have got picked up by like a licensed studio.
Dead to me.
Like New Line Cinema, whoever owned the rights to Friday the 13th.
Because I think they had to shut it down because they didn't have the rights to the movies or something.
That's why. That was ultimately
it was honestly a good game. The concept was good. I just looked at the counselor versus Jason thing. That was just dope. Dead by Daylight, I mean, it's dope too. But I think the aspect of Friday the 13th is what made it good. And then they did have the plan to have different maps. Like they were gonna have like the New York map, the boats and all. Like they were gonna add maps like based off the game, like based off the series.
Yeah, that's when they got hit with the season
because they trashed.
But it's all good, man.
It's cool. It was fun for the 30.
It's been a real generation. This PS4, Xbox One. It's been a wild ride.
A lot of ups and downs. That's for sure. More than I can remember.
All right.
I don't think I ever seen anything worse than Anthem.
Right, Kenny getting his Anthem shots in.
I'm getting shots on everything.
Right.
Fuck them.
When they showed us that game, they said it was in game footage. They told us that when they
said it at the bottom of the screen.
It was in the middle of the screen. It was like, this is running in game, and we was like, oh, okay, like, all right.
They lit.
And they went dark for a whole year and a half until the game came out broken. Never again. Like, if y'all not showing us nothing, leading up to it,
I don't even matter about music.
I ain't about to. Like Cyberpunk, they have been like pretty open. Like they gave us like a whole like 40-something minute gameplay like months ago. Like they've been showing like
they gave us
cars,
gameplay.
weapons, different factions, like all of that. Like
I think Cyberpunk did a good job with like getting you ready for the world, because from what they showed, it's about to be a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like they needed to do this to at least get people prepared, because I think if they did show us none of this stuff and I turned on that game when I get it and I start seeing all this stuff, oh hell no.
My multiplayer gaming is gonna be real slim when that Cyberpunk hit, because I'm in that city, but I'm doing everything, talking to all the people, trying to get money.
I might get a couple playthroughs, because I'm gonna try to be in every faction. I damn near want to be in every game, but I don't. Yeah, we might not do that one. But but yeah, I for sure get a couple playthroughs out of that. It depends on how long the game is, though. Because if it's Witcher 3 long, you get one good playthrough.
When you think about it, Cyberpunk is kind of like the cap on this generation. Like GTA was supposed to be the cap on the 360 PS3 generation. So Cyberpunk could be like that game that's like going like how GTA is still going. Like they could like if depending on what CD Projekt Red, how they thinking about this game. I don't really know how they feel about like additional stories and stuff like that.
I think it'll come down to however they do the multiplayer. I just don't know. I have no idea how they I don't know. Is it gonna be like Cyberpunk Online? Is it gonna be like GTA? Like I don't know. Like the game already looks like GTA. Like you could take people out their cars and shit. Like I don't know. I don't know. This is. We guess we just gonna have to wait. Let's worry about beating the story first before we think about that.
Right, that's gonna be it. Right.
I will enjoy watching y'all play it. I've loved to watch the build.
I'm not getting it until I get a new system.
Yeah, me either. I'm not getting it until I get a new system. But more importantly, I couldn't get it right now.
They said that you could steal cars. Oh, unless you gain skills for that. I mean, that's cool. I can accept that. That sounds RPG-ish to me. If I need the skill to pull somebody out their car, then hey, we about to be leveling up in this bit.
You know what I'm saying? About to pull up on you.
Somebody getting yanked. I promise you that.
Running them pockets
quick. Sure, I might fucking around. I know I ain't doing the corporate route, so I'm about to be destructive in this damn city. You can guarantee that. Anytime you give me free reign to destroy stuff, I'm with it. I just like to destroy stuff. That's why I like Saints Row.
Bro, Saints Row was so dope.
Saints Row went over and beyond with destruction. Like I was like, hell yeah.
Bro, I enjoyed myself thoroughly on that game.
Man, I don't know the last time I played Saints Row. I think the last one I played was 2. But that's the last time I think it was good, honestly, in my opinion. I heard 3 was cool. I think I started playing Splinter Cell heavy when Saints Row 3 came out, so I didn't even think about touching Saints Row the third.
It was good when it was good, and it was bad when it was bad.
Yeah, they started having aliens and different dimensions and shit. I was like, yeah, this game dead. I was like, honestly, I thought I was playing Crackdown. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm flying it. I got super jump. I'm like, okay, we lit. Then it got boring. I was like, yeah, it's not lit. It's not.
It definitely offered something different.
Yeah, it was a good change of pace from the games. Then I would say that.
Yeah.
So it was something to play. It was entertaining. I know when it first came out, the concept was just dope. Everybody was like, "Oh, dang, it's like GTA, but not GTA." It's
not just, and we're black people.
Yeah, it had this moment. So that's a good thing. Yeah. You know, a game that I wish would have kept going is True Crime.
Oh my gosh, bro!
That shit would have been fun.
Why did that game not die?
Give me V for Vendetta then.
And then I remember because when True Crime LA Streets of LA came out, they had that Snoop Dogg side mission.
Bro, that game.
Everybody loved that game, bro, and everybody was like, "Dang, I hope they come out with another game." Then we got
It did.
Then we got what did we get? We got New York.
They did
I got that one on my GameCube. And then when New York came out, everybody was talking like, yeah, they about to do Atlanta or they about to do such and such. I'm like, man, I think they said Atlanta, Chicago.
Yeah,
it was like DC.
Sleeping Dogs.
It was like any big city or major city in a state they was about to have a True Crimes game for. And then we ain't never see a True Crimes again.
Yeah, Sleeping Dogs was the spiritual.
Hey, Sleeping Dogs was fire.
Yeah,
Sleeping Dogs was lit. I ain't even gonna hold you. That Sleeping Dogs reminded me of a mixture of like that Jet Li Rise to Honor and Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
And True Crime.
If they had babies.
Well, I guess True Crimes was like a mixture of all that too. Then I guess, huh? Yeah. So never mind. Forget what I said. It was
the fighting system. I remember when that game came out, because that was kind of what Sleeping Dogs did as well. When True Crime, when it first came out, they was like, is it a shooting game? Is it a driving game? Is it a fighting game? And they had like good systems. Like the driving system was great. The shooting system was great. The fighting was great. And it's like everything just meshed together so well.
True Crimes had that little mechanic where you have to go to the dojo to train and unlock new moves. And that was fire. I thought that game was the best game ever. I had it on my GameCube. I played it every day.
Yeah, it was a good time.
True Crimes was lit. It did remind me. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, everything about that whole every mechanic on there was dope. Because I swear it was something like you could really do a mission either fighting or shooting. Like you really had the option. Everything was so smooth. And then once you beat the game, you had just free roam to go do anything you wanted. Like I done went back and did missions. I did that Snoop Dogg mission hella times. Because I remember I got to the end of the game and they had that little last path. And I was like, what's this? And I started and I was a whole other person. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, because they had like the good cop, bad cop system in there. Like the honor thing where it's like you can be a good person or bad. And it's like if you...
Yeah, and your path separated depending on what route you went. Like if you did your good cop stuff, you was over there. And if you had your bad cop, you was at this part of these missions. That was dope. I think that was one of the first times I've seen that kind of system in the game.
PS2.
At least that I could pay attention.
PS2.
Well, I ain't have it on PlayStation 2. I had it on GameCube. I'm sure on PlayStation it was a lot better.
That era was amazing.
Yeah, good times. That's when Madden came out with the hit stick.
The best Madden has ever been.
That changed the game on that.
The trucks, then the truck stick came. I remember that truck stick was OP. I swear it didn't matter what you had. It was like soon as you see that shoulder going down, you might as well chalk it up. When the hit stick first came out, that was the most OP thing ever. I swear, if you hit anybody with the the hit stick, they was instantly.
Fumble.
And I think that's when they started adding like the mechanic to rip the ball, so it was like you couldn't get fumbles as easy. Yep. It's like, nah, y'all got to rip the ball out this time.
Make it work for it.
But that hit stick, that was vicious. I remember the screen used to shake. And you see that fumble and the other team pick it up. And then, man used to do that little freeze frame. And you would freeze with the scoop. And then be like, and then stop. And then you go. Man, good times. Good times.
Good freaking times.
What else did I Ghost Recon? I had Future Soldier, I think that's what it was. Ghost Recon Future Soldier, one of them. But Ghost Recon was lit.
While we dive
in Vegas.
While we dive in super deep, Kenny, you might as well go ahead and start it. So today we are talking about our blerd journey, and so we're talking about kind of like the process of us becoming a blerd, things that we've joined along the way, maybe things that we're looking forward to. Kenny is already jumping into some of his games that he enjoyed playing while growing up in systems. So Kenny, if you want to go ahead and get started by telling us our journey, I'm going to step away for just a second because I need to take a phone call. But I'm going to let you lead the way, Kenny. Go ahead and let everybody know about your journey, bro.
I know my Apex started by mistake. I'm leaving the match.
It did not stop by mistake. You were trying to squeeze the game.
No, the controller was sitting here and I was pushing the buttons. I pushed Y by mistake. And then when you started talking, I was like, oh, and then Apex started. But it's off now. So, but yeah, my journey, it's been pretty cool, man. I can't honestly say that my journey was the same as everybody else because I think everybody's different, of course. But around the time when I really started getting into it, I know it was like, I hear a lot of stories like you get a lot of backlash and stuff about being like a blerd or watching anime or any type of nerd things. Like when I was coming around, like nobody really talked too much about you if you watch anime. It was more so like if you did like some weird, like off the wall stuff, like people like was over the top. Like if you did like over the top stuff, then they'd be like, you're a little weird or creepy or like something like that. But as far as like when we like played outside, like at recess every day at school, everybody argued about who they was gonna be like in Dragon Ball Z. Like that's what we did. Like it wasn't like we got made fun of or nothing about it. Like so, like I can say that I didn't really have a hard time with that. Like my main thing was like people made fun of me for being like fat or something, but I fought, so it don't really matter about that. So, but like as far as like growing up and the things that I liked, I was very open with a lot of the stuff. I think like when I got to maybe middle school kind of, like that's when I started reading manga and stuff, and that's when people was like, "You're reading Japanese books?" Like it ain't in Japanese. It's in English. It's just I'm reading it backwards. Like, and so it was like that's probably like the most time like where I had like that disconnection with like people or like the community was like when I started reading. But as far as like watching anime and stuff, bro, I swear, like I said, every day in recess, like it'll be one person be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be Future Trunks." Okay, they go find them a little stick to be the sword. There's somebody like, "I'm Vegeta" or "I'm Goku," or like, "I'm gonna be Yusuke." Like we used to like that's just who we used to play anime. And like I remember, I'll never forget. This was I had gotten to fight for this too. I might have been maybe 5th grade. I can't remember when Mega Man, which Mega Man was it? It might have been the Battle Network. It was when Mega Man Battle Network that came out. And I remember it was the Mega Man show. And whenever they used to fight, they used to be like, Jack in. And I had the little toy. So when I used to go to school, I used to walk around and be like, Jackie. So, I was that kid.
Word. Yeah, man.
We ain't have that down here. Have what down there? You could say it in the chat, but I'll just keep talking. But like, I remember I was like, I was in the computer lab and I was like, Jack in. Everybody was like, what the like, what you doing, bro? I'm like, shoot, I'm about to play Mega Man. So somebody was like, this like, you know, like once you get like the 5th or 6th grade, this is when y'all start cussing a lot. So they was like, bro, shut your ass up. The fuck you on, bro? You corny ass. Like blaming me, bro. And I'm over here in the corner like, man, say some more shit, bro. I'm about to sock you in your fucking throat. I guarantee it. So they making fun of you. Like, what your fat ass doing, bro? You ain't about to fit it on their computer. What you jacking in for? Like, so like when I say they flaming me, bro, I'm like, at this point, I'm like irritated. Like, if you knew me like back then, my anger was, it wasn't. I couldn't control myself. Like I was getting angry. And I'm like, bro, stop talking about me. Like I'm just trying to play the game. I'm like that because when you plug it up to a computer, I think you like unlock stuff. And I'm just over there. And every time I plug it up to a computer, I'm like, Jackie in, like I'm playing Mega Man. So there's one dude, he had said something. I honestly couldn't tell you what he said. But I know it was something I didn't like. And I got up and I punched him in the face and I got suspended. And that was the only moment, the only time like growing up, like when I like with the stuff I like blerd stuff or like anything like that was the only time I felt like it was like negative. But this is the part I don't understand. The dude that was making fun of me doing the Jack in stuff, he had every Yu-Gi-Oh card, bro, and would play Yu-Gi-Oh at lunch. Like I was baffled. I don't even understand. Like we play Yu-Gi-Oh together. I thought we was cool, bro. Like you traded me your Exodia pieces, and I gave you like my two Dark Magicians. Like we was cool. Like then you just had to play me, bro. I don't know what it was. I couldn't tell you. I just don't know. But you got punched, and I'm sorry. But yeah, like growing up, like I didn't really have too much negative about being like a blerd. Like everything I liked, it was accepted. So I can't say that I got made fun of often for it. Outside of being fat, that was it. Like other than that, everybody loved anime by the time I started really like paying attention and watching it. At least everybody I was associated with. It was more of it wasn't a norm, but it was more accepted by that time. Like by the time like I turned like 6, like that was like 98 when I turned 6 or something like that. We was watching Pokemon and stuff, so it was like nobody about to make fun of you like at 6 years old or 8 years old for watching Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that, and Digimon and stuff. So it wasn't like it was looked down on. Like here, like the normal person would just be like, oh, he watching cartoons. Like, oh, what's that cartoon? Like, what's that cartoon you watch with the animals with powers? Like, that's what people thought it was. And in my head, I'm just like, shoot, I'm gonna just watch it. Like, this shit lit. Then I started learning. And that's what it was. Like, I think I learned early on when my I had a cousin. He used to get these Dragon Ball Z videos. That's when I found out they wasn't English. I was like, and I had to read, and my reading wasn't fast, so I could never finish a sentence. I'll read like the first 2 words, and then on to the next thing. And I'm like, I guess I'm just about to watch fights because I'm not about to see what they talking about. Like, I'm over here trying to read. I'm like, he said, never mind.
Yeah, it was like one of those things, man. Like you mentioned, you know, like growing up, I remember everybody loved like all this stuff when we was in elementary, like the recess days, elementary and middle school. But I feel like it's like a culture thing. Like in middle school, you know, it was for me. It was like between 8th grade and like 12th grade. Those was like the years where people, it's like you're not necessarily getting made fun of for liking the stuff, like you said. It's like if you do something over the top weird, people like, oh, he's weird. But people was liking the stuff, but it was just like, you know, that's a time where you like trying to figure yourself out. You're trying to learn how to date. You're trying to learn how to talk to girls. You're trying to learn how to be cool. And it's like for me, it was like a thing. Like I didn't feel like talking about that kind of stuff a lot. Like I feel like, you know, if you're talking about sports, you know, music, like that stuff is like you can like talk to a whole bunch of people about it. But it was like I kind of felt like it was almost like I felt like everybody else was outgrowing the stuff, so I felt like I had to outgrow the stuff. But then when I got to college, like one of my LBs that I met when we was freshmen, he had Dragon Ball Z, Budokai, Tenkaichi, and he was like, "You trying to play this?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to play it." Like, hey, what you mean? Like, and that opened my eyes up. Like going from high school to college, that really like took my mind from like being inside a box to just like seeing the whole world, seeing like everybody likes different things. Everybody don't have to like the same stuff. Like when I got to my freshman year in college, like I'll tell you, it was back on Dragon Balls, like I never left type junk. Like, you know, that was like me and B talk about it all the time. Back in the days, we had to watch stuff on YouTube because we didn't have Crunchyroll, Hulu, Netflix.
Good time.
Netflix was in the mail. So I
actually part 6 of 12.
That was actually how I watched. Netflix was how I watched like the Broly movie, the first Broly movie, and was it Super Android 16? Is it 7? 8? Which one?
What?
Super Android.
Was it the one with? Was it
what number
Android?
Was it? The blue guy with the hair. I got that from Netflix BoJack. In the mail. Like that was the days.
BoJack. Yeah. That's BoJack Horseman.
That was the days where you had to get.
I know which one you're talking about, though.
You had to like either download torrents and stuff. Like
Dang, now I gotta remember. Was it Android 13?
What? Yeah, I think it might have been 13. 16 was the guy that got
16 was in the show.
Yeah.
13, I think he like had that form where he turned blue and had the orange hair.
That's it. Super Android 13. Cause I watched that on from Netflix. Like I got into Yu-Gi-Oh when Yu-Gi-Oh came out, but I felt like that was when people was starting to get away from it more. So I like Pokemon. Man. I fell off on Pokemon completely. I should have never stopped playing Pokemon. I fell off on it because I thought it was like dead. Like I didn't think people liked it. But Harry Potter became like a thing. Like Harry
Potter became one of my things. Like
Harry Potter,
like when that started getting popular. Like
it had a lot of popularity. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings actually had a lot of popularity.
Yeah,
I didn't get into Star Wars at all.
You want to know what got me like really into like anime and stuff?
Your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Game Boy, that Game Boy right there, man. That's the Game Boy you used to have to sneak in your book bag to school, right there.
Hey, that's the Game Boy my teacher put.
And he was just talking about it.
I had.
You already know.
I had that Game Boy and I had silver version. I was playing it in class, and she was like, "You can pick it up after," and I didn't pick it up after because I would have had to tell my mama to come get it.
Bro, I just found that thing. Bro, I was lit.
No, I was like, that's funny.
But yeah, it was just
like I was saying, like like by that time I remember what really got me into it, like growing up, is because back in the day, like you as a kid, you really couldn't went anywhere as long as you was in the house by the street lights. So I remember like the first time my pops was like, I can go around the corner, and I remember we found this house with a basketball court that nobody lived in. So that was like our hangout spot. And it was this dude, it was like this little kid that had just moved over. He was from Japan. And he had gold version. And he had these the link cables. But his gold version, none of us could read. And we was like, yo, what is this game? It was like before gold version came out. We was like, what's this game, bro? He was like, oh, it's Pokemon. We like, oh shit, like what this code? Like, how come we can't read? We don't, like in my head, I know I can't read it, but shoot, I'm about to just walk around and figure stuff out. Like, and I remember he started showing us like different anime and stuff, like stuff we didn't even know about. I remember we went into his grandma's house and he was on the computer. She was like the only house in the neighborhood with internet that actually was internet. Like she didn't have no AOL trial, no Netscape, none of that. Like she had like, Boy. It was official. And then it was on a separate line, so she could still be on the phone and be on the internet. That was, bro, when I tell you that was revolutionary to me growing up, I was like, what? Mm-hmm. We can talk on the phone and be on the internet. That's the greatest thing ever.
Kids today don't know the struggle, man.
I was like, he's so lucky. So we went to his house every day, bro. He had every game. When I say he had everything, his parents used to send him games from Japan. And we used to sit there and play the games Like we understood the game. Like we'd be over his house playing Gundam, not knowing what the hell they talking about. But playing Gundam,
you took the words right.
We could blow something.
You took the words right out of my mouth, bro. I played Gundam. I played Gundam and Yu Yu Hakusho, the Japanese versions, before I played the American.
Did y'all have the modded PlayStation where it's like you had to put in this weird disc and then it popped open? Yeah. You had to have this spring and it popped open.
I remember that.
You take this, yep.
And then you put the Japanese game in. And when I played Dragon Ball GT Final Bout like that, Final Bout and Ultimate Battle 22, couldn't read a single thing that was going on. All I knew was I was fighting Goku versus Vegeta, Frieza. That's all I needed.
I remember I was like, "What's this Super Saiyan?" I was like, "Goku a kid again?"
I didn't know nothing about GT.
I was like, "This about to be on TV or something?" I'm thinking this like the greatest thing ever. I'm like, "What it?" I didn't even know who. I think about that. I didn't even know who Boo was. Like, I'm like,
I didn't think.
Like, I'm like, who was this pink motherfucker? I'm like, I think by the time I played that, I think Cell Saga had probably just started. Like it had to be like early Android Cell area, like in that mixture. Because I was like, it's a Super Saiyan 3. And I'm like, what? Like, I've just seen one Super Saiyan. Like, what? So that means it's a 2. I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen. Like, I was astounded. And everything he had, I was like, yo, you my best friend, bro. And it was crazy. We had the same name. His name was Ken. But I think his name was like Kenki or something. Like, it was something I ain't know. But we just called him Ken. And me and him was like, we was homies. That was my boy. I don't know where he ended up. I wish I knew. And I wish we still had kept in contact, but he had moved. And I don't know if he moved back to Japan or moved to another side of the city. But yeah, good times. Good times. I think I only lost his number because we stopped using Nextels, so I couldn't chirp him no more. So it was like, I ain't got no way to contact you. I can't hit you with the chirp. Like,
we are in a time machine right now, boy. They done brought up Netscape, the Nextel chirp. Boy.
Hit me with that Nextel chirp.
You talking about?
Hey, you know what's crazy? When that song came out, I ain't know nothing about hitting no phones for no work or nothing. I'm like, what the you talking? I'm just saying words.
Songs we had no business saying the words to.
No business saying nothing, bro. It's so much so we had no business doing, but we did it.
Shoot. Kenny, if you would have to say, what are 3 big blerd moments, you probably say like your blerd career up until this point, whether it's like an anime series that like is your forever video game thing that like you will love forever, or maybe like a moment you share with a friend over like an anime reference.
You know what? I ain't gonna fault you because you know you wasn't here to know the story. But
I heard the whole story with you.
I'm talking trash, bro. I'm talking trash, man.
I heard the whole story.
My biggest one
and about your
the first anime I ever watched, which was Cowboy Bebop. And that's when I was like, oh, this is like different. Like it was a cartoon, but it wasn't like it was like y'all was watching like it was a grown-up cartoon. That's what I used to call them. I would call them grown-up cartoons. But that was young me. I'm better now. But like, that's what I used to call them. I remember the episode I seen. It might have been. I think it was when they were on this space station. They had to capture this old lady that had this drug, and it's like the 5th episode, maybe. Like it's early in Cowboy Bebop, and that was like one of the first episodes I seen. And I was like, oh, this is space. I was like, it's like everything I liked, it was there. Like I was like, it's in space. They got guns. He know how to fight. It's like he hunting people down because I think I watched Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and Tenchi Muyo. I remember vividly, and my cousin had all of those like on tape, and I would sit there and watch them. Like I would watch the same episodes over and over and over because I didn't know where to watch them. Like I had cable. Like I'm like, shit, I don't know where these shows at, but I know where I can watch them. And that was probably like one of my happiest moments, I say. The worst moment was when dude was making fun of me with the Mega. Mexican man shit. Got his ass beat
Yeah.
up. And then my another favorite moment would be it's my best friend. He used to stay next door to me, and we had the dueler disc when Dual City had came out and Kaiba had the new little dual disc and stuff. We had got them for Christmas, and we would ride our bikes and walk around like we was in Dual City. And we had duel like far apart, like the monsters was in like our area. We used to sit there and be like, I played. So
you had to have an imagination. Before the internet was like this, you had to have an imagination. Bro, when you were playing. Like,
and I ain't even gonna hold you up. I thought Yu-Gi-Oh was gonna be like the next greatest thing in the world, and I was like, we gonna get virtual Digimon. They gonna have machines so we can see the monsters. Like, I'm thinking this is about to be like the game, like the show, like for real. Like as a kid, like your mind is like, I don't know. Like now, they have an imagination based on their era. But like for us, like we were a mix, so it was like we can be on electronics, but we so used to being outside all the time and hanging with our friends and doing stuff with them. Like by the time computers and stuff really got popping, like we'd be on the computer, but that was after we was done outside. We'd ride the bike, right, go to the other side of town, go all the way to the park somewhere. As long as we was back by the street lights, like you was cool. Like it was like, all right, when the street lights come on,
be back before the street lights.
This is how you knew this. Yeah, we getting there. We almost old, y'all. This the main thing you know if you like from our generation. If you got there when the street lights was on and you had that one moment, it was like you had to see how your parents' mood was, but you'd be like, can I sit on the porch? And if they said yeah, we outside.
We getting out of here.
Don't let them say I can sit on the porch because they might let you just be in that front yard, just that front area, as long as you there. Because that used to be the greatest feeling ever when you hear that. Yeah, you can sit on the porch. It was over. Then your friends' parents ain't got no reason to say they can't sit on the porch because it's like, all right, we gonna be in front of my house. Like we all right here. We ain't around the corner no more. You ain't go to the park. I remember we used to ride our bikes to the school just to go to the park, just because like. Playing with sticks, having sword fights, like we was really like in anime, like making sound effects like shink, 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 shink.
That's how life was. That was life before.
But yeah, those probably my moments. Yeah, that'll be my 3 moments. And then if I had to relate to a game, it'll be when my dad had got a new girlfriend, and her son. He had a 64. This was before I got mine. And he had Super Smash Brothers. And I thought Super Smash Brothers was the greatest thing ever. I seen Pikachu on that bitch. And then I seen Link. I was like, this is the greatest game ever. And the whole time he used to call me weird because I was younger than him. I'm like maybe 3 years younger than him. But he would act like he just older and shit. But I used to sit there while he was playing and I'd be like, Pikachu, Pikachu. Him and his cousins all looked at me like, what the hell wrong with you, bro? I'll never forget that moment because it was like my first time meeting them. It was just they was having like some little family get together, and I had walked in that room. They was playing Smash Brothers. I'm like, oh, that's Pikachu. And I was like, oh, that's Link. And I was like, hiya. But yeah, shout out to my boy Brandon. That's my homie. That's like my big bro. That's like my big brother.
It's always good to have a Brandon in your life. It's always good to have a Brandon in your life.
But yeah, anyway.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, I got a lot, but I'm gonna stop talking because I can go on forever.
See, tell us a little bit about your blerd, kind of like how it begins, your favorite points.
I think we talked about it on like our favorite game or first game ever, but Sega Genesis, my older cousins, they showed it to me, and it was pretty much love at first sight as far as the gaming is concerned for me. And I tried to play everything I could get my hands on. Could only really get it for birthdays and Christmas back then, but I used to be all over it. And like Kenny was just saying, like recess and having imagination, that is where like things like really came. Like you really like learn what you liked, like what type of movies you like, what type of shows you like all of that kind of like started to come together. Going to school, being around other people that talk about things that they like. I don't even really remember. I mean, Toonami. Everybody know about Toonami. But yeah, I know when
I had Barney. That's how I was. Toonami. I had Barney hide and seek on Sega.
Yeah, so like definitely played a big pivotal part.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like being young, Power Rangers, TMNT, and like I used to watch Barney. I used to watch the Lamb Chops. Like I knew it was weird, but it was cool to me. Like I was a kid, I just liked the animated stuff. Like Bobby's World, y'all remember Bobby's World?
Yep.
That like stuff Fox like that, Kid. Like it used to hit home for me. Like it really used to hit home for me. We had the X-Men animated, Kids, and when I
Kids used to slap. Yeah, they had the Spider-Man animated series. They had Iron Man, Incredible Hulk.
Oh yeah, and see that was before superheroes was really on the scale that they are now. Like this Marvel Cinematic Universe is pretty new. If you want to be real, it's fairly new.
Yep.
So the comics.
08?
Yeah, 08. Iron Man 1 came out 2008. So yeah, barely 12 years old. So yeah, even before
that, you just got your hero movies here and there. Like we had Daredevil, Elektra. What else?
Was okay because
Spider-Man trilogy.
Spider-Man trilogy was great before the MCU. Blade.
Blade.
Yeah, Blade.
But yeah, the live action movies, the technology really wasn't there to do a great live action till like 2004, 5 maybe is when like the movies started to really like look amazing. Like the CGI.
It's like effects started being a lot better.
Yeah, like with the Star Wars, the second Star Wars trilogy is
that Star Wars trilogy, the Anakin portion.
Yeah, they started to move the CGI forward a lot, but
I thought that looked amazing. The Phantom Menace? Yeah, I was like, shit. This
back then it looked real good. It looked real good. It looks dated now. If you go watch it now, it looks dated.
Yeah,
but having all that there, it was cool growing up. And then I know when I got older and it came time to like start find like what you want to do, that's when I was kind of drawn to a technology field because it incorporated things that I liked and things that I was good at in school. So that's kind of how I ended up like working in software engineering. And like to be honest, I didn't even hear the term blerd. I heard the term blerd from one of my coworkers in 2016. This lady, she came up to me and like if you are African American, you worked in a corporate office, it's not a lot of us, especially men. Like it's not a lot. Like you might get 5 max, 5 in a company of 300 to 500. You might get 5 other black men, like just regular black men, not foreign, from the United States, domestic. Like that is when like the term blerd really hit. Like lady from Seattle, she came up. She was talking to me. She was like, "Hey," like older lady too. She was like, "I never worked with a black man from the U.S. Like that's how few and far between we are in some of these areas. That's why being a blerd now. That's why we're going so hard with it now because we here. Like here, we've been here, but now it's like we gotta live in it. We gotta." Live our truth, do what we love, and enjoy that. Like, I didn't hear the term blerd before I heard it in a corporate office space where I knew for a fact I was the only African American male in that whole office. Like my one guy that I worked with, he was Ethiopian, but like if you ever met somebody from Africa, you know the difference. Like they they were kind of raised in a different society, so they kind of view things differently. They don't view things the same way that we do. Not to take anything away or discredit them from anything, but it's just it's a certain mentality, mindset that you get. Like when you talk to us, you talk to people that we know, like we know about like things that are happening here with black people in the United States, and you don't get that a lot in these corporate offices. You have to like be the example. Like then just that's just kind of just a blanket, me going from being a kid and just kind of getting to where I am now. But now it's like I feel like the nerd culture is at an all-time high. Like when you got people like Michael B. Jordan out here doing Naruto inspired collections, Super Saiyan inspired fashion,
design.
Meg Thee Stallions talk about anime almost every single day. Like we are living in a completely different time than what we grew up in. I love it, to be perfectly honest. Like I love it. Like you're not ever gonna say that anime is lame, because if you think anime is lame, you think Meg Thee Stallion's lame. You think Michael B. Jordan is lame. And right, in all honesty, that probably makes you a lame, because you would even let that come out of your mouth. But even to this day, some people are like, "What do you like about anime? What do you like about it?" It's like, have you ever watched a show? Like, have you ever watched one anime? Have you ever? Like, and a lot of times the answer is no.
Stories on shows, like on regular TV.
A lot of time the answer is no. But
yeah. I found out in my time, like a lot of people that be saying like anime is lame and stuff, they love reality TV.
They love reality shows. and will watch it and talk about it. Like you watch this, but you got a problem with anime. Like that's where I start to get like a little bit like kind of apprehensive with, like, when I deal with folks, like I just kind of see where their mind is at, because it's all about being open-minded. It's all about trying something new. It's all about just finding the anime that you like. Cause think about it. Have you ever met somebody that just flat out says they don't like movies? Like, I don't like movies. Like, there's not one movie that you like. Seriously, there's not one. Have you met somebody that says they don't like movies? Does he? Have you ever met somebody that say they don't like TV shows at all? Like, I don't like no show.
Never not a TV show.
There's not one show that I like.
Like he for sure he'll watch a movie, but it ain't like a movie ain't what he will watch. Like he'll watch a TV show, like a whole series, before he watch a movie.
And that's understandable. That's understandable. Yeah. But some people are just.
But as far as TV, I ain't never heard that one.
Some people, when it comes to anime, they just flat out like no. Like they see it and they like. They turn their minds off instantly. But it's like you sit here and watch this
reality. Blerd do sound funny.
Okay, I would like. I don't want to jump in because y'all had. I wanted to take a minute to touch on the word really quick. Yes, it definitely sounds funny. But for me, and my journey is a little different from seeing Kenny in the sense that I wasn't in welcome environments. I didn't get to the point. I never had a problem with nerd either. But I didn't get to the point where I had something or people of my own. So when I found the term blerd and it uniquely resonated to who I was as a person, it just instantly stuck for me. Yes, it definitely sounds weird. Yes, blerd is a nerd, so it's cool. It's a term completely, used for a black nerd. No, it doesn't bother me that people don't like it or they get offended about it. But in a place where we don't have a lot of things that uniquely belong to us, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with using it and, the importance of it and why it's there. And so that's why it's always kind of stuck and it's kind of resonating.
That makes sense, Blue.
Cool and important. It just, when the word first came out, I still had some gatekeeping in it. So, I feel it.
Yes,
I feel it.
That's funny.
It kind of was born. The word was kind of born through what we know as gatekeeping when you think about it. Because all those Twitter conversations that used to happen years back with like, oh, what anime have you watched besides Naruto, Dragon Ball? Like, Blerd was kind of born out of that same, type of like energy, to be honest. And it's not me personally. It's not a word that I would have like came up with and just like, oh, we blerds, we black nerds. Like, I mean, because we always been about the nerdy stuff. We've been about the pop culture. Like, we just
I
cool
still
people.
call myself a nerd. So.
We just cool people that love what we love. At the end of the day, and it's like when you say the word blerd, like you want to like kind of like pinpoint a certain thing. But I was thinking about that right before we jumped on.
Blue.
I was thinking about that before we jumped in. Yeah, you really can't. Yeah,
like it's more than just anime. A lot of people just think just because you watch anime, like that's it. Like it's more than being a nerd than just that. Like you got tech nerds, and I don't even know honestly because there's too many words associated with the same thing, but they be different words like a geek, and like a weed. Like
yeah,
not nowadays you can't really put a label on like one whole group of everything because they separated, and that's the thing. Like, but like you said, like it's more than just anime. You got different venues and everything, different categories and everything you can like. Like it's not just watching anime.
You're not just a blerd just because you
black
do a certain thing.
Anime.
You are blerd because you want to be a blerd and you choose to be. Like It's not like you just get that stamp. Like, oh, you watch one anime, you a blerd. Like, no, like, do you care about the show, or are you having conversations about it? Are you watching the show and then you going and hiding the fact that you like it? You know what I'm saying? That's different. Like, you have to like kind of like live in it. Like I got friends that got the PS5 right now that I honestly wouldn't say that they are blerd.
Because if you being honest, like when you think like I can't relate anime to being a nerd because you can, but at the same time you got to remember like that's probably just that's just here. Like when you go like in Japan and stuff like that's a normal thing. I don't think they consider themselves nerds or anything just because they watch some anime. Like that's like us watching Dexter's Laboratory. Like
right, it's like the perception, the perception that we have.
It just depends on like your surrounding, like your upbringing. Like it's all about everything around you, how things are perceived, and I think that's where people get confused. Like if you look at it one way, it's gonna be that way. And a lot of people are stubborn or too stubborn to even consider other directions or other thoughts and stuff like that. Like a lot of people aren't open-minded to accepting other things. So I think it just comes down to where you're from and your upbringing, honestly.
Yeah. And I guess that will kind of bring me to my journey. My journey, like I was saying, was a little bit different from seeing Kings. I didn't necessarily have the welcome environment. I would probably say my blerd journey started off with wrestling. I loved wrestling. I loved the idea of wrestling. I loved the athleticism that went along with wrestling. I loved the storytelling. I loved the characters, how they could turn on and turn off, how they would be able to diversify into different characters if a transformation or a story ended. Like, for me, it was all about
a question. I'm gonna let you finish, but I was just letting you know to be prepared for a question.
Oh, okay. and so because wrestling is not necessarily a sport, wasn't full-fledged entertainment at that time, you were just looked at as a geek or a nerd or someone who wouldn't grow up, and like this is even as a kid, like I would get joked on about it, but like I didn't care. It was something me and my uncle shared. And then, I got into like wanting to wrestle and do martial arts. My dad didn't let me do martial arts, because he felt like my anger, which I had a lot of at the time, would not be focused in areas that I needed it to. So, I yearned for that. But then I got into Power Rangers. I got into VR Troopers. I got into Big Bad Beetleborgs. I seen Ronin Warriors, Dragon Ball. My cousin, like, you know what I'm saying, my first PlayStation 2. So like my cousins had Sega, Super Nintendo, and all that. So like I would play, and like I would want to play because I didn't have it. It was just like, oh, when I pull up in my cousin's house, oh, we play it every time until I leave. I don't care what y'all doing. And so, you know, getting access to that, like we didn't have cable growing up. So, you know, I got on the Nickelodeon train late, got on the Cartoon Network train late. But I remember like my first night staying up late to watch Toonami. Like that was super dope. Wrestling kind of blew up a little bit with the WCW, ECW, and WWF at the time. Rivalry they had. So that was huge. And then, man, I actually really, like, I watched anime sparingly, but I really didn't get heavily into gaming and into anime until like my senior year, where my godfather, like, he asked me, he's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? I was like, I don't know. He was like, well, what do you enjoy? I was like, I really would enjoy playing video games. I remember he had a PlayStation 2. He went and got a PlayStation 2. He was the one who gave me the flip top PS2, and he downloaded all the games for me, bro. He downloaded all the games.
Was that the PS2 Slim joint?
Nah. This was the old school one because you had to put the pop spring on it.
Oh, you're talking about the modern one. The modern one,
yeah. So yeah, man.
He said he the one who actually gave.
Bro, he gave that joint. AA 2004 with Joey Harrington. Like that was the first game like he got me like not burnt. And I just remember playing that game for hours, doing the recruiting, doing everything. But like that's when they still had HBCUs. I would build HBCU teams up, and like I did a lot of like solo gaming for a long time. Like
I didn't know where the HBCU was until I went to one.
I did a lot of college, man. Actually, like when I got to college, then I actually really started to have like a legitimate gaming experiences. Like most of you guys had. Like I got a Dreamcast, I got a Nintendo. I had Game Boys, but like none of my parents got me those. Like those all came from the struggle. I'm not gonna openly admit how I got them, but they came from the struggle. But like I bought old systems. I bought my own first system, Sega Dreamcast. I'm not Sega Dreamcast, 360. And then, bro, I fell in love with anime my freshman year. Like I watched my first episode of Naruto and Bleach within the same week, and then One Piece the next week. And I remember, so as a freshman in 2005, wherever One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto were at the time, I had college. 2006, 2005, 2006. 2006, 2007. So at wherever One Piece, Naruto,
I was a freshman in high school.
In 2006, where yes, I'm old. Wherever they were at, I had watched my first episodes when like in We Each Other, and I remember like.
Well, I guess that explains why our experience was a lot different. So
yeah, I physically remember not like going anywhere without my laptop. I didn't care if it was a party, the library, a track meet. Like if I could grab the internet and put my laptop up and watch one of those 3 episodes, like I was doing it. And I remember it took me like 3 months to run down all those episodes. And like when I remember getting current, just being like, wow, I watched so much anime. And then I was like, what else? And I remember
I didn't get a laptop until like my senior year of high school. But when I got that laptop, I watched so much anime.
But once again, man, my godfather too with me. I'm so sad because I sold that place too. But like I remember like that laptop he got me, and just like having all these websites and like having LimeWire CPU.
LimeWire fucked your computer up.
This episode should have just been called Back to the Future, because when I tell you, y'all done brought up AOL, Netscape, LimeWire, pulled out a Game Boy Color. Like
I got one for you.
Yeah, y'all
Fair
wild.
share.
Man,
Bullshit.
I'm about to mute. I'm about to mute and block
I
you for bringing that up right now.
Metal Alchemist and man to man. Hey, yo, that's crazy, Blue. Because look, hear me out. I remember when that came out, when the Full Metal Alchemist preview came out. Like that was one. That was one of the first like previewed animes like I had ever heard about. Like I didn't even like I wasn't hearing about premieres. I wasn't hearing about game drops. The first game release I went to at a GameStop I think was Halo 3. Yeah, Halo 3 was my first GameStop release that I went and picked up. And I mean that would be the game that completely changed my life. If we're being honest about my blerd journey, the game that literally almost ruined and made my life was Halo 3. Because I almost did not finish school because of Halo 3. We used to play all the time. And we had
I believe it.
We had two nationally ranked dudes at UNCW at the time. And so like they would always be having they were always stuff. So like that was super cool. And then, you know, after my freshman year, it just kind of exploded, you know. So I had wrestling. I had video gaming. Now I was watching anime. I started reading manga a little bit. Then it was because of C's actual wife. Jess hit me up telling her to check out C's gaming channel, and that was actually my introduction. And Psychotic and Kohlberg and Arab and Kenny and everybody else, because my LinkedIn from there, because like I guess like they had a group that was kind of coming by the wayside, and I was like, yo, I'll start a group me. Like I don't got no gaming friends. Like I had my Call of Duty clan, bro. They was toxic. All they did was play Call of Duty, and like that was it. It was Call of Duty or bust. And they weren't looking at other games. They weren't looking at other games and like doing blerd stuff. It was like, that's yo, funny. You watch anime, you're a nerd, but I can play Call of Duty. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Whatever. And still to this day, like I have two of my homeboys from my Call of Duty clan that's still current to this day. My one good that pulled up our first night of Friday night fights and played Soul Calibur with us, and my homeboy Don that will jump in the streams from now and then. Other than that, man, I can't pay nobody for my Call of Duty clan. Get on Twitch to join the Discord or do anything else other than Call of Duty. Like that's it. And I had to break that mold, man. Like I was a 2K, NCAA, Call of Duty, toxic type of dude, and I was like, yo, gaming is so much more.
Man, I miss NCAA.
I do too. That's why I still have a copy of 2014.
Yeah, I don't.
That game is no more because of money and EA.
Money and EA.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, man. That's my blerd story. That's C's blerd story, and that's Kenny's. Kenny, you had a question for me. And let's just kind of open up the floor real quick as we finish up for any questions.
I forgot the question. Oh, it was something about wrestling. I was saying like the age when you started watching wrestling, like was like the story and stuff was that the thing that really got you? Because I know when I was younger, when I started watching Cowboy Bebop and stuff, I didn't know what the hell the story was or what it's about. I just knew he was shooting shit and it was violent, and that's kind of what I like.
Nah, man, like
even around that time when I started watching like Cowboy Bebop and stuff, like it would be like every once in a while, like we didn't have cable at our house. But I remember my grandma had finally got cable. I think it was like, it might have been like Comcast or something. Like it was early when like cable boxes started coming out, and I was like, oh dang, I could see like anything on here. And I remember it was like 3 a.m, and I was up playing my PlayStation. I cut it off, and it was on HBO. And I'll never forget. I honestly don't know to this day. I don't know the name of this movie, and I've been looking for it. Like I type in stuff, and like that was in the movie, and I remember what was it, and I can never find it. But it was about these samurai or something. But they was in like the future, like a future city, and I remember it was like this fight scene, bro. I seen this dude cut off like 3 heads, chopped off arms, and I'm like, this is amazing. And I wish I would have recorded it or saved it or favorited it or something. But I promise you, from that night forward, I used to go to HBO every night at 3 to see if I could catch this movie or catch any like movie that was related to it. I've never seen another like anime on there until like one night I seen another one. It might have been like Fist of the North Star or some shit. But I remember I was like, man, I'm gonna watch HBO every night at 3. Like I used to try to stay up until 3. Never made it all the time, but I would try. Because I knew at 3 o'clock, that's when I turned off that PlayStation. I seen somebody's head roll across the street in Japan, and I was like, this show lit. And I didn't know if it was a show, a movie. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I know it was flames. And I got to find this movie.
Y'all remember?
If they're Blue, if
remember what?
I did pay homage to his old anime. I did watch Gundam. It's a lot of the retro gaming that I gotta catch on. All of the old like all the old premium anime, I pretty much have between like now in 2006. But I definitely like. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But like what I'm trying to do right now, if y'all see behind me, like I'm in the process. Like I need to unpack my Sega, and my Dreamcast. But like I'm trying to collect, retro gaming so that, once I get my streaming set up for real, I can start streaming some of this retro gaming, catching up on all the stuff that like I missed out on. And like the main reason,
it's so funny listening to it because you was talking about like you got made fun for like watching wrestling and different stuff, and then by the time I was like in '98 or '95, like when I was like watching stuff like 96 to 98-ish, like that time period when I really started watching stuff like that, like nobody was making fun of nobody for watching it. So like that's crazy. Like you could just see like that gap. But I was also born in '92, so
yeah, you were born in the '90s. I was legit born in the '80s. But also too, you said something like I told you I was y'all, but way it's cultural. It was culturally acceptable during the time where you were at, and during the years to watch those things. It still was very much frowned upon, for somebody like me, and like especially in the Black community.
That's understandable.
It took the Black community a long time to come around to accepting people that were different, other than the stereotypical norms that are perpetrated on us. And I'm so glad, like I am around hundreds and thousands of people now who breaks those molds. Whether it's Crispy Spidey walking around in his Spider-Man outfit, whether it's Blue wearing his Purple Rain bandana during his stream, or whether it's the three of us up here geeking out, man. Everybody is kind of broken the norms that were forced upon us, and
pretty much.
I feel like that word blerd just resonates to that whole that process of how we've evolved from being like a lot of us being closet nerds, some of us being like Kenny being able to be an open nerd, and then transforming into that blerd that don't give a fuck about what you have to say. Now, dead ass, like most people now who get ready to say something to me about anime wrestling or anything above, I'd be like, hey, you watch that fuck show called Love and Hip Hop? Oh yeah, man, then keep watching that fuck shit. Let me watch what I'm watching and stay in your fucking lane. Don't come over here and worry about what I'm watching.
Girl, I'll never forget. I was talking to some shorty, bro. And she asked me what I was doing. I was like, shit, I'm watching, what did I say? I was like, I had to be watching Full Metal or like Naruto or something. And then she was like, what's that? I was like, it's an anime. She was like, oh, you watch that anime shit? And I was like, get off my phone. I'm done. I'm done. I don't even want to hear it.
It's like that meme. It's like that meme with LeBron and the one tier. It's like,
completely lost interest.
Get out my house.
Like, get off my house.
Bro.
I was gonna say though, y'all remember when Kill Bill had like the little anime like shorts within the movie of like the backstories of the people?
Dang.
And when that movie came out, I was like, so people like anime, right. Like, cause I was like, cause you ain't gonna tell me that movie wasn't fire. Like Kill Bill, that joint was so
both of them was fire. That's one of my favorite movie series. Quentin Tarantino is a genius. I don't care what nobody say.
That's all I want to say about that though. I just remember that.
But yeah, I remember that because I think in the first one they had to do some of the scenes like that because of the violence. Because remember in the second one they had to put some of it in black and white because of all the blood.
That movie was crazy. Like they was killing. Man,
good times. I'm about to watch Kill Bill 1 and 2 now. I remember when it came out. My mama went to see it, and I remember when I was like, I want to see it, and she came back. She was like, "That's not a movie.
You ain't gonna see that." Boy, you talking about gatekeeping? Moms back in the day used to be gatekeeping. I'm talking about Boondocks. Nah, you can't watch this. They said they cussing too much.
I couldn't watch nothing. I couldn't watch South Park. I couldn't watch
South Park wasn't happening at all.
Anything.
I was right there.
Anything that was
Beavis and Butthead.
Anything that was too adult for me, I was over. I ain't had older siblings. Like I'm the oldest in my household, so I didn't have older siblings. So a lot of the stuff that I did get to watch, or when I got to watch it, was like if I went to my dad's house, he wouldn't care. Like we'll watch Leprechaun, Freddy Krueger. We'll watch New Jack City. Like we'll watch some random stuff that I know I'm not supposed to watch. Like that's what I was like. Yeah, my mom and dad completely different. Because my mama would be like, "Turn your head, you can't watch this." My daddy would be like, like, "Oh yeah, turn your head." Like, okay, like I
you remember?
It now, you might as well let me watch. Like,
yeah, remember like you trying to play GTA, and then your mom come in the room, and you just pause it.
Yeah,
you like try to go look at the map or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. My mama, and I told y'all before, like my mom worked at Second City, so she knew the games and stuff that I could and couldn't play. So like GTA, I wasn't about to. Well, I could break into cars. Nah, you're not playing that. Especially like being in Detroit, like auto theft is like one of the biggest things. Like you would be outside, like you would go in the house for 5 minutes, your car guaranteed would be gone if you in the wrong neighborhood. Like it's like that fast. So like anything that was like representation of like how our city was, like guns, like stealing cars and stuff, she was, nah, nope, you shooting what? Like Tenchi Wrath of Heaven, that was the first rated M game I had that I didn't have to get from my cousins.
That was just blood and killing.
Yeah, and I was just chopping heads off and killing people. Like, but other than that, like I would have to like go to my cousin's house and play it, or like take their game and bring it back home and play in the middle of the night or something. Like it was just crazy. And that is just, that was wild. Good times though. But I remember the day she stopped caring, I played everything.
Kenny was like, I'm in now.
What she stopped? I remember when she stopped caring. It was when Bad Boys 2 came out. I think that was the last thing she told me to turn my head on. That was like when they had that little camcorder scene.
Yeah, that movie had a lot of cussing in it. Like that. I understand parents not letting their kids watch Bad Boys 2 because that movie had drugs, sex, killing.
Yeah, everything.
Everything bad.
By the time that came out, she was more. I wouldn't say that she let me listen to it or like pay attention to it, but she was more lenient with what was acceptable because like by that time, like I knew right from wrong. Like I'm not about to do certain stuff in front of her. Like I know I'm not about to. But like growing up, like as a kid, you just go copy stuff. But by that time, it's like. Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna get caught even if I was listening to anything cussing. Like I bought my first parental advisory CD and it was Young Jeezy, Thug Motivation 101. And I went in Target and I got the clean version. And I was like, nah, let me try to get the regular one. And I grabbed it. And they asked me how old it was. I was like 13. And the lady looked at me, she was like, in her head, I know she was like, "You ain't no goddamn 13, bro." Like, but I had to be like 12 or 11, and she was like, "All right." I gave her the money, and I played that CD on like 3, so my mama didn't hear the words, and I'm in there listening I'm listening to Tear It Up, Soul Survivor, Air Forces. Go crazy. I'm like, yeah, this ain't cussing. Like,
last thing I want to say is, y'all remember that goddamn edited version of Ludacris?
Chicken and Beer.
Which one was the one with Roll Out? The one before Chicken and Beer.
You talking about
Southern Hospitality?
No,
Southern Hospitality.
The one that had
with throw them bowls and stuff.
Not that one. The one after that. So it was in between Chicken and Beer. What was it called?
It was in between Chicken and Beer and Southern Hospitality.
Yeah, he dropped the album in between those. Because Chicken and Beer came out a little bit later.
It did.
But do you ever remember the edited
Word of
version
mouth.
of like Word of Mouth? Move, like the edited version where they put all them sound effects in there, the Saturday and all that. They put they used to have
Red Light District was after
the sound
Chicken
effects.
The sound effects were killing.
That joint used to be funny to me.
But those sound effects used to be hilarious. You hear
random
glass breaking, you hear
the dog
cat screech, a dog bark.
That was just something random that I thought about. He's talking about the edited music, but
that was hilarious.
I will say, man, I gotta get ready to eat some dinner here in a bit.
Red Light District.
I gotta get ready to eat.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Hey, Red Light District was lit. That had blueberry yum yum on it.
Yes, sir, it did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like 15, maybe 15 or 14. I had that CD, and I think that was like the time when I first like started. So like, keep that low key, but yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go ahead and wrap it up here, though, fellas. It's been a good one, though. We talked about. So we went back in time.
We got next week. Yeah, this should have been called Time Capsule.
Yeah, Back to the Future, boy.
Right. Really quickly, I want to wrap up. I want to thank everybody for coming out and rocking with me and See Outlaw today. Remember, December, we're going to be taking the time to get to know your 3 official members of 3 Little Blurs just a little bit better. So you'll be rocking with us until the end of 2020. Remember, we also are currently taking a break from our regular talk show routine. And so that's going to season 2 of that will return back in January. Don't forget this Thursday to RSVP for your spot for the game show live stream in the Discord. Crispy, Blue, and anybody else in the chat, we would love to have y'all come kick it with us. Blue, we know you probably gonna be doing something, so if you're doing something, let's work together, fam. Other than that, thank everybody for coming out this evening. I am looking at. I sent you a whisper. I was looking at 3 people. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Cool.
And show us love and support.
Yeah, man. Also, too, man, hey, y'all please shower her.
But I was just saying, yeah, everybody show Blasian some love. We gonna send her that raid.
Appreciate everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Much love, much happiness. I will see
everybody. Appreciate everybody's participation for sure.
Yeah, I will be in Blue Satire's Discord watching NXT. So if anybody wants to pull up, just hit me or Blue Satire up on Twitter, man. But we getting ready to go have a good time. Y'all, thank y'all.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all.
Peace, love, and hair grease.